How's it going, everybody? I could do this all day. I'm driving myself crazy once again. Looking at a date. I think what's most important is it's text to Trump 88022. We do have a date in there, don't we? Right in the middle, right in the heart of the number is August 2nd. Now, on August 1st, 2018, when The Dark Knight came out, and when I saw The Dark Knight, it was a total solar eclipse. The next day, 802, was one of the most important days in my life. Not going to get into that, but there's your 802. The 88 is Trump. The 22 stands for the 22 Trump cards in the Tarot card deck, known as the Arcane. 22 Trump cards in the Tarot card deck. Major Arcana, aka Trump cards. The Major Arcana suit consists of 22 cards. So there's 22. What are the 22 cards in the tarot card deck? The Major Arcana, also known as trumps. The Minor Arcana, which has 56 cards. All right, so 78 cards divided into two groups. Now, from it's 481 days from the total solar eclipse. X across America, total solar on 4/8/2024. It's a direct 37 progression. It's 481 days. You divide it by 37. It's the 13th 37 progression. Remember, 37 is the 12th prime number. It is the prime number for the church. It divides evenly into 111, 222, 333, all the way through 999. I mean, if it goes into 111, it automatically goes into 666 and all the rest of them. 37 is a gigantic number. It's a direct hit of Trump's elevator descent. That's a direct hit to his rising. And if we go to his elevator descent 2 days after his birthday in 2015, it's a perfect 3,700 days. Notice 10 years, 1 month, 17 days, 117, or 11/7. It's 121 months. 121 is Antichrist. It's 88800 hours. This is gigantic stuff, as it always is when I see something. Remember previous video or two when we did the how 8/12/2022 was the midpoint of two total solar and two total lunar eclipses, 88 days in both directions of the total lunars. Um, Let me see, what was it? Yeah, and it was 251 days in both directions of the total solars. I want to get to that in just a second. If you look, remember lilies, when Lily rolled that apple across the floor on 4/20 on that, remember she represented that total solar eclipse as she sat inside the corona. She is 833 or that total solar is 833 days. 83 we know is murder in one of the four base ciphers. It's 119 weeks. 119 is Donald. It is in simple gematria. It is 2 years, 3 months, 11 days. There's your 311. If you go to 2020, 311, I haven't looked at that yet, but it just popped in my head. There's your 1968 when they did the RFK, MLK, FAKE, STAGED events. It's also 5 years, 4 months, 20 days. There's your 420, which is when the total solar hit in 2023. If you go to the 13th, 313, 2020, 1966, there's your 66th book of the Bible, Revelation, all that stuff. If you run it to August 2nd, you get your 1968 again. 68 is a reversal of 86, and that is the rising day. The Bullitt Building in the city of London. It's 7764 days, but more importantly, 21 years, 3 months, 3 days, or 13.3 is coded. The 21, you have the 1, it's 21 years, 3 months, 3 days. So you have your 133 for Revelation 13.3. On the rising day, it turns into 135. The 135th number is 761, which is the total number of verses of Daniel and Revelation. We have that also coming up. 761 is a direct hit. I think on the Dark Knight Rises. And it's also 7766 days on the rising day from the Bullitt Building. The Dark Knight Rises, if we just go to it, I've got it already pulled up, but since I said it, yeah. Notice on the event day, it's 13 years, 11 days. But if you run it to the rising day, remember rose on the third day. So going down July 31st, that's Julius Augustus. So you're combining Julius Augustus, July, August. There's your 4761. FOR, end times, Book of Daniel, Book of Revelation. It's 13 years, 13 days from the Dark Knight Rises to the rising day. 680 weeks. Remember, 68 is a reversal of 86. This is big time stuff here. It's gigantica. If you run the release date of Donnie Darko USA wide release date to the 86ing day, the days are 86, 79. 79 is murder in civil gematria, and we know 86 means to eliminate. That is an absolute direct hit. If you run the Donnie Darko release date to the rising day of August 2nd, there's your 868 in one day. 8, 6, 8, 1, 86. Follow fused with 68. 68 is a reversal of 86. It's absolute perfection. On the rising day, it's also 285 months. 285 is the address of One World Trade Tower. One World Trade Tower came about 11/3, 2014. I hadn't looked at that, but wanted to since we spoke about it. Let's keep going. Nothing big there. The total solar, there it is, the 481, which divides 13 progressions. It's also 68 weeks to the rising day. 68 is reversal of 86, again, to the rising day. Remember the guy that had the 88 jersey? And they had the 2020 incident that caused all the commotion. It took place on May 25th, 2020. His initials are GF. That took place on 5/25/2020. When you run that to our date of the event, it's 189 3 days. Remember, 89 is the number in Donald Trump and Donald J. Trump in the Jewish Hebrew cipher or gematria. That perfect 3,700 days from his descent to his rising. I call it descent because he went down the escalator. He descended down the escalator, represented his descent. All right, the movie Tenet, Christopher Nolan's film of 2020. 1792 days to our 8016 day. 79 is murder in simple gematria. And there's your 179 2 days. Direct hit. There's your rising. 1794. Tenet also had a premiere date on August 26, 2020, on a Wednesday. To the rising day, it's 1802. 802 is the rising date. And notice it's 4 years, 11 months, 7 days. In other words, 4, 11, 7. Revelation 11, 7 is the beast rising from the pit. Tenet, Christopher Nolan's 2020 film. Remember, he did the Dark Knight trilogy, which is the Antichrist and a comic book. The billionaire from Gotham, we know who he is. And he also did The Prestige. We're going to get into The Prestige in a second, which came after Batman Begins, but before The Dark Knight. It's a perfect 1,800 days even from The Prestige. I'm sorry, from Tenet to our event day. It's a perfect, remember, 18 is 6 plus 6 plus 6. So you literally have 1802 to the rising day, 6 plus 6 plus 6, and the date of 802. The Prestige has 82 in the URL, fused with 48, which is his name in one of the 4 base ciphers, 48. The Prestige film came out October 17th, 2006 at the El Capitan as a premiere. United States, October 20th. In United Kingdom, November 10th. Let's look at all of them. The premiere, 6862. Remember, 62 is Revelation. In Strong's Concordance, it's G for Greek. 602, drop 0. 188% of a common year. But it's 6862, so you have your 68, you have your 86. There's all kind of nuggets in there. 98 in the weeks. 98th verse is Revelation 6:2. From the 10/20 USA release date, it's 18 years, 9 months, 11 days, 9/11 coded. I did not look at 9/11. It's 13 years, 10 months, 20 days, 13 years, 10 months, 22 days to the rising day. Ooh, 121 begins the hours. Antichrist. 166 months. 66 book is Revelation in the Bible. And the United Kingdom release date. What movie was that again we were doing? Hang on, I got a brain fog. Here we're doing The Prestige, which is all about the rising. And there it is, 6838. 83 is murder, 38 is murder. Both are fused together in the days, 18 years, 8 months, 21 days. There's your 188 code. So on the rising day, 6840, 40, that biblical number, 40 days, 40 nights, or 40 days in the desert, 40 days of solid rain. And so it's 68, which is a reversal of 86, which represents rising. The prestige is perfect. If you look at the turn, or the prestige in the gematria, all right, I just want to make sure there was not a date built into that. So in The Dark Knight Rises, we talked about the other day, we had the Steelers playing the Seahawks in the game. Literal Steelers players, Ben Roethlisberger, um, one of the Pouncey twins, all standing there on the sidelines in their Pittsburgh Steeler type uniforms, but they represented Gotham. The team they were playing had the Seahawks colors. They did play each other on 10/17/2021. To the 86ing day is a perfect 138-3. So you have 138, which is Donald Trump and Simple Gematria. You have your 38, which is murder. And you have your 83, which is murder in the base ciphers. I believe the 38 is in the Simple Gematria. It'll be 1385 on the rising day. Yikes. This event would be taking place on a Thursday. Thursday is named after Thor. Avengers. Yeah, I didn't bring them up, or I looked at them. There's your Dark Knight Rises 4/7/61, 13 years, 13 days to the rising day. Again, 68 is in the weeks, 680 weeks. There's your Avengers, 4/23/2018. It is 7 years, 3 months, 8 days. It's 38 code, but it's 379 weeks. There's your 79 for murder. It's also 379 weeks on the rising day. The Dark Knight release date, the actual film, The Dark Knight, was released on Friday, July 18th. Remember, Dark Knight Rises, July 20th, rose on the third day. They were 4 years apart, but 2 days apart. Once you look at the Dark Knight to our 86ing day, 6/222 days, 17 years, 13 days. You have your 1713 code. It's 888 weeks, 6 days. So Mr. 888, which is his name in the English gematria, which is 6 times English ordinal or 6 times simple gematria, is his name. So it's 888 weeks, 6 days. So it's him being 86th. If you look at last year when they had the event on July 13th, if you notice 713 or 731, it is a perfect 383 days. 38 is murder, 83 is murder in the 4 base ciphers. It's utter perfection. Utter perfection. If you run it to the rising day and include both dates, 1 year, 21 days for 121 Antichrist, and a perfect 386 days. 38 is murder, 86 means to murder or eliminate. Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers. Remember, the next one was called Return of the King. We'll definitely have to take a look at that. It's 179 minutes, 79 is murder. So it's talking about those two towers and the murder, or when the twin Trumps came down. It's 8274 days. So there's your 82. But it's 22 years, 7 months, 26 days. 726 is Antichrist in the English gematria that we talked about. It's also 22 years. The 22nd prime number is 79. 79 is murder in simple gematria. The other release date of The Lord of the Rings, it's 22 years, 7 months, 13 days to the event date. And remember, 7 months, 13 days, or 7/13 was when they had their staged event last summer at that rally. 22 years, 7 months, 13 days, 7/13 code, along with the 22 again, which is the prime number for murder. The other release date, it's 8262 days to the rising day. Remember, well, there you go. It's 22 years, 7 months, 12 days to the event day. But you really want to take a look at the two towers to the rising day. 8262. 82 is the date of the rising. 62 represents revelation. As in Strauss Concordance, it is G602. If you look up July 31st in the Gematria, this doesn't have all four base ciphers. This is the Hebrew, the English, and the simple. The English, again, is 6 times the simple or 6 times English ordinal. You got your 144 representing the church. You got your 222 coded. And the number 24, 240. And it's a direct hit with, I just saw it. Where did it go? Oh, wow, The Hunt for Red October. Goodness gracious. It's just, you think about how the August tag was in Back to the Future's tag. It was an August tag, but Hunt for Red October. October was once the 8th month, so it's taking place in the 8th month. And Donnie Darko was October 2nd. And look at this. August 2nd, the 8th month. October, Octagon, Octopus. October was once the 8th month. Like 9/11 was really all about 7/11. September was once the 7th month. Most countries write the date backwards than we do in the United States. So it was really about Revelation 11:7. That's why it's October 2nd, the Donnie Darko date, because he rises. Remember, Donnie lived. He rose on October 2nd. Donnie died on October 2nd, and Donnie lived on October 2nd. He rose up out of that bed. Let's look quickly at the moon on that day. Again, from last year's event to this year's event, it's 383 days. 38 is murder, 83 is murder. Gematria calculator. I might as well bring that up for y'all. If we key in murder, '83 in reverse, ordinal, 38 in reverse reduction. Again, there's your 79 in ordinal. So from last year's event to this year's event, it's a perfect 383 days, double murder in your base ciphers. It's also 12 months, 18 days. That's 121 Antichrist used with 18, which is 6 plus 6 plus 6. Absolutely gigantic. So if we take a look at the moon on July 31st, well, there it would be in Libra until 1:25 p.m. You've been weighed in the balances and art found wanting from the book of Daniel, which takes you to the writing on the wall in the book of Daniel. When it says you've been weighed in the balances, writing on the wall, Sam Smith. And if I'm not mistaken, it's September 25th, 2015. September 25th, 2015. September 25th, 2015. 11 months, excuse me, 118 months, 6 days. It's 186 code. It's 86 does begin the hours. Um, and we'll go through Spectre, No Time to Die, all of that. Um, it's 118 months, 8 days on the rising. Hang on, we might as well finish those movies. By the way, July 31st or the event day would be on day 212, which is the area code there for Manhattan. Gigantic. So let's look them up. Film Spectre. Let me go and get all this prep for you instead of wasting your time. Hang on. There's your 68, by the way, 6.8 rating for Rising, reversal of 86. So if you look at Spectre, it's 116 months, which is the reverse upside down backwards of 119, or excuse me, of 9/11. Again, 116 is the backwards upside down of 9/11, and they coded that to us in Back to the Future. Back to the Future, 1985 on 7/3. Might as well look at that since we spoke to it. 14638. That's Trump's birthday, 14/6. Most countries write it 14, comma 6, and there it is. And there's your 38 days, which we already told you was murder in reverse reduction. It says murder Donald Trump right there. And the 428 code, which is the bullet building, April 28th, in the city of London. It's 14640. Again, that biblical number of 40 on the rising day from Back to the Future. iPet Goat in 2012. Its YouTube release, 14776 on the event. That'd be 4778 on the rising. Oof. On the rising. iPet Goat. 13 years, 30 days. There's your 13.3 code. Revelation 13.3. Had a deadly wound by the sword, but did live. 682 weeks. There's your 68 on the rising day. iPet Goat released on their website on 6/24. If you include both dates, it's 4788. 47 is his big number, and 88 is his big number. Wow. If you run it to the event, 47, 86. 86 means to eliminate. That's if you include both dates, you can always do that. So if it's after 1:25 p.m., the moon would be in Scorpio. The rising day on August 2nd, he rises with a Scorpio moon. It's also first quarter, which means it's a square, which means it's very antagonistical. Well, I'm sorry, that's on the first. So it's not on a square. What else? So we look at the days of Spectre. It's 117 months on the rising day, 3566 days on the 80-16 day. It's 68, 3568 days on the rising day. Again, 68 is reversal of 86. These are direct smash hits. Spectre also had its release date. Remember, it's 148 minutes, Spectre. 148 is Donald J. Trump and civil gematria. And so the other date was November 6th, which is a 116, backwards upside down 9/11. So if you look at the 11/6 date to our event date, we already said that the backwards upside down. Yeah, we already looked at that. What else did we need to look at? The writing on the wall. We looked at, so it's No Time to Die is all we need to look at. And then we'll call it a day. Came out on October 8th. It's nothing special. The only thing about it, 1759, 4925, 5725, 251. Nothing special. I will say in 2022 on 8/12, did I already go over that, which was the midpoint? It was the day Sirius the Dog Star rose, and it was the midpoint of two total lunars, two total solars. I forgot to mention. We do have the 121 coded or 1/86, and the wins over the 86 because he rises. And that is really about it. This is, yeah. I guess we can take a look at 1968, the Heidi Bowl game. Well, there you go. Absolutely fascinating. The Heidi Bowl on 11/17, 1968 for Zechariah 11/17, the right eye wound. And there it is. 20710. 710 is Eve in Jewish gematria. If you look up Eve in the biblical or the Jewish gematria, that's where we get the number of his name. Twice. There's Eve 710. And there's 710 in the days fused with his number 207. Why is his number 207? Because that's 119 Donald plus 88 Trump in the simple gematria. 207. That's a gigantic number for him. It's 207 fused with 12. 7 is number for cleansing. 12 is number for the church. So on the rising day, it's 207 fused with cleansing the church, which is what living in the book of Revelation real time is all about. And I do believe it's at his rising, which is when they consider the crowning. If not, doesn't matter. Phew, that is a big deal. Do you know it's a direct hit for the event day is a direct hit for the total solar eclipse in 2001, which opened up 2001: A Space Odyssey. The total solar eclipse. The total solar eclipse over the monolith. If you run the total solar on the day of the summer solstice, 6/21, 2001, 2 hour event day, it's 8806. So that's 88 fused with 86 cryptically, 806, drop the zero. It's 8808 to the rising day. Since it's a direct hit to 37, 8806 divided by 37, it's 238 progressions of 37. 38 again is murder. It's also death in one of the four base ciphers. Gematria calculator. 38 is murder and death. Murder, 38 reverse reduction, death, 38 in ordinal. So 38 is death and murder. It's death in ordinal and it's murder in reverse reduction. 38 is a gigantic number. And we just told you it's 38 progressions of 37. 2, the total solar eclipse of 2001. That's what all that was all about. Text to Trump, 88022. Go back and watch the very beginning again and look at all of those coincidences. Mm, 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 mm. All right, love y'all.